everything happened so fast. First World Cup qualifying, and then the draw. On today's episode, we will take a look at the teams that Iran will face at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. You know the deal, and you know what time it is. It's time for Team Melli Talk. Who would have thought it would happen again? Hi everyone, welcome back to Team Melli Talk. We all know what's on everyone's minds, so let's get right to it. First, let's welcome back Arash Ostovari.
Arash, how's it going? Better yet, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good, man. I'm very positive, and I'm very glad about the draw.
Okay, as we saw, Iran was drawn into Group B for the second consecutive tournament. Let's have a look. England, Iran, United States, and the winner of the UEFA playoff, which could be Ukraine, Scotland, or Wales. Okay, Arash, first, let's start with England. I mean, how does Iran stop Harry Kane or Raheem Sterling?
Well, before to answer that question, I have to say that this is kind of a history match and very exciting because, as you know, we never faced England in history in any tournament. So this is a first match, official match that Iran gonna face England in a tournament, and what a huge tournament in World Cup. So that's kind of exciting for me. I hope by that time our team with a good preparation have a solid plan to control Harry Kane and Sterling.
You know, like you said, I gotta add a little bit to this. Yeah, it's true. Iran has never crossed paths before with England. I mean, this is a game, of course, like we know it, of course, that it's going to be tough. But one thing for sure that helps Iran is that all the pressure is going to be on England to get a positive result. So there is no pressure at all whatsoever on Iran.
Yeah, true. That's our first match gonna be with England. The pressure is more on England. It's also their first match too. So I'm sure with a very good plan in defense, we can do a good job.
Of course, this edition of World Cup qualifying has been odd, especially when talking about rescheduling and things like that. But let's focus on the three possible teams, the three teams that are left in the playoff. Out of those teams, we have Scotland, Ukraine, or Wales. So out of those three teams, which one do you want to see Iran play at the World Cup?
Well, myself, I would prefer if we can face Wales or Scotland, because that will be another good match for us. And possibly you should know that if Scotland managed to come to this group, it will be another big match against Scotland and England. They always have that hot tension in football.
Out of all three of these teams, yes, they're all European. But I think it's safe to say that a lot of Iranian football fans look at these three teams as winnable opponents. But from my point of view, I think that Wales is the most dangerous out of the all three, especially because they have Gareth Bale, and he's dangerous whenever he's on the pitch.
Definitely, that's true. Between these three, Wales seems to be the better team than every other team. But you have to consider that this is football, and we can't prejudge anything. That's the first thing. And second thing is that this is World Cup. So any team who qualified to World Cup means they have been ready. They came a journey and they did a good job to qualify. And no match gonna be easy. We haven't won any match before the match happens.
Now, when focusing on the United States, it is normal to mention the 1998 World Cup and the friendly match in 2000. But what can you say about Iran's chances against the United States? I mean, to me, this is a match where the American fans will be saying that it is a must-win, and then for the Iranian fans, I think that they're going to be saying the same exact thing.
Well, I have to first say that when you look at the pot 2, which United States happened to come out from pot 2, it was really a luck because basically States was let's say the most weak team in that pot, at least on the papers. So I think that was good for us. But when we look at the journey that US had during to qualify to World Cup, and they they have a lot of up and downs. It seems that we have a good chance to win this game this time as well, because this year States team hasn't been really that good, in my opinion.
As we remember, Ahmed Reza Abidzadeh was Iran's starting keeper at the 1998 World Cup when Iran defeated the United States.
But now there is a scenario where Amir Abidzadeh can follow in his father's footsteps by playing against the United States at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Now, Arash, I think there's a much more important question to ask. And if it's your decision, who would you have starting for Iran at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar? Amir Abidzadeh or Ali Reza Bayramvand?
I would still go with Amir. As I said earlier, I believe that he's more ready and to start in World Cup. I know that there has been a lot of comments on him, especially on the Korea game with that goal. I need to say he has been mentally pressured by all these campers between him and Bayramvand, and probably that gave him a lot of pressure. But yes, I would still go with Amir.
You mentioned something important though. You said pressure. So that means if this pressure becomes a problem for him, that to me says that he should not be the goalkeeper at the World Cup. Because if you are a true competitor, you have to like the pressure and show everyone, hey, there's the pressure, but I'm going to perform even better.
Well, it will happen to all players that in a stage they might be mentally pressured and stuff. And people have different control over pressures from outside. I hope that they can help him, the national team staff. They can help him to handle the situation and rebuild him mentally. Because I believe that technically he has abilities to help the Team Melli.
Of course, there's a decent amount of time from now until the start of the 2022 World Cup. From my point of view, I'm still in the camp. I'm still in the Ali Reza Bayramvand camp. I'd love to see Bayramvand become the starting keeper. But of course, we got a lot of time from now until then. But of course, at the end of the day, we all are on the same page in that we always want Iran to win, no matter who is playing in goal.
Yeah, true. That doesn't matter who plays. Whoever is ready, he can play. And the goal and the target is Team Melli to get a result.
Now, what about all of you at home? Who do you think should be Iran's starting keeper at the 2022 World Cup? Leave a comment down below. Always looking forward to getting your input.
And Arash, just like to thank you for taking the time to join me on Team Melli Talk. As always, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks, man. It was a pleasure to be in the show.
And that's it, everybody, for this edition of Team Melli Talk. As always, really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website, www.teammellitalk.com. Remember, this is your best source for the latest news on Team Melli, the national team of Iran. Make sure you find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know the handle, @Team Melli Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification button. See you on the next edition of Team Melli Talk.